Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Ryan and welcome to Math with RG. Thank you so much for checking out this lesson today. Remember, it's going to be you and I, and we're going to conquer this. Are you ready? Here we go! Now today, we're going to be talking about specifically when you have three variables in three equations. So there's three different variables in each equation, and there are three variables. Now, yes, this looks kind of complicated. We've got x, y, and z. We have to find out what each one is. All right, is everybody ready to get started? It's you and I today, okay? Let's do this together. We got this, all right? We got this. Here we go. Elimination. All right. So what you do is you look at this and you say, okay, what can I do to combine two of the equations together so that at least one variable cancels out? So when we first look at this, let's see, we've got 2x plus 3y plus 5z. And then we've got an x minus y and a z, and then a 3x minus a 4y minus a 5z. Ah, look at that. We have a 5z and a negative 5z. So let's write those two next to each other. Okay, so we're in business. Now you have to ask yourself, do I add these equations together or do I subtract them? Well, because one 5z is positive and one 5z is negative, all I have to do is add the two equations together and they will cancel out. Okay, so what I want you to notice right now is that we have a new equation that has an x and a y. All right, so we're going to leave that alone for the moment. And what we need to do is pick two more equations where we can simplify those together, we can combine those together, and we will end up with an x and a y. And you'll see why in a moment. That's a lot of y's. I know, right? Anyway, there's nobody here. Okay, so let's change up the color again. Okay, so before we chose the equation on the top and the equation on the bottom. So now I definitely need to incorporate the equation in the middle, and I need to combine it with another equation where, once again, the z's cancel out. Now, at first glance, nothing's going to cancel, right? If I take the middle equation, which has a positive z, and if I take either the top or the bottom, those both have 5z's, so nothing will automatically cancel. But what I can do is adjust this equation so I can balance it out by multiplying by something all the way through. So you'll see how we do that right now. So let's take this equation and let's drop it down here. Okay, so we have x minus y plus z equals 1. All right, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to multiply the entire equation by one thing to balance it out. And what would that one thing be? Well, if I multiply it by 5, so every single term, the x by 5, the negative y by 5, the z by 5, and the 1 by 5, which I'm allowed to do because I'm balancing the entire thing, then it will give me an opportunity to combine it with one of the other equations, and then the z's will cancel. So let's multiply by 5. So we got distributive property now, so we have 5x minus 5y plus 5z equals 5. That's a lot of 5s. All right, and now we can bring down one of the other equations. So let's see, which one do we want to use? Okay, so now I can just take those two equations and combine them. And again, because we have a positive 5z and a negative 5z, I can just add them together. So let's do that. All right. Okay, so what I want you all to notice now is that we have this equation right here in green, and we have this equation right here in white. They both have x and y. So because they both have x and y, we can now combine them. Here we go. I'm going to bring this entire equation down here. Let's do it. We've got 5x minus y equals 27. Here we go. We're gonna rock this out. Woo! I know this is a lot of work. Hang in there, everybody. I know it's a lot, but here we go. We got this. We're going from 3 variables. We had to go down to 2 variables on one and then 2 variables on another. Now combine those, and guess what? We're going to be able to go down to 1 variable, and that's what we want. That'll be our golden ticket. But as you may have already noticed, we have an issue. If I combine these two right now, nothing will cancel. So what do? Well, I do the same type of thing. I can adjust one of the equations, right? Balance it out by multiplying by something all the way through. The easiest thing that I can see right away is that if I multiply by 9, I will get 2 9y's. That's the easiest thing that I see right away. Now, there is another option, but it would take 2 adjustments instead of 1. So I like to do the least amount of work in this situation because there's already a lot going on. Okay, so we're going to multiply this entire thing by 9. All right, let's do it. 9 times 5x, that's 45x. 9 times negative y, that is negative 9y. Oof, but we got a big one here. 9 times 27. Now, here's what I like to do when I multiply by 9s. I just go 1 up and I multiply by 10. And the reason for that is 9 times 27 literally means 9 27s. Well, I can just do 10 27s and then subtract 1 of the 27s. That's just easier in my mind because multiplying by 10, you just stick a 0 at the back side, right? So 27, and we can just do it over here on the side here. 27 times 10, that equals 270. But I don't want 10 27s. I want 9 27s. So I subtract 27. Okay, and what do we have here? 3 and a, 4, right? Because 43 and then 243. There it is, 243. Another way to look at it is you could do 9 times 20, and that's 180, and then 9 times 7, and that is 63. Add them together, and that is your 243. Okay, so now, once again, let's bring back the 8x minus 9y equals 21 to our new, underneath our new equation of 45x minus 9y equals 243. All right. I know we've got a lot of movement here, a lot of arrows going on. Okay. Okay, so here's what we need to notice now. So first of all, we are done with these up here, and we're now focused on what is written in the light blue, the 45x minus 9y equals 243, and what is written right underneath that in white, the 8x minus 9y equals 21. Okay, now, negative 9y and negative 9y, they're exactly the same. That means I have to subtract everything. Because if I subtract them, then they will cancel out. All right, so let's subtract one at a time. We have 45x minus 8x. Well, that is 37x. Then we have negative 9y minus 9y. Well, negative 9y minus minus really means negative 9y plus 9y, and that is 0. So those cancel out. All right, now we have 243 minus 21. 243 minus 21. All right, and that is 222. 222. Okay, so here we go. Now we have to divide by 37. Divide by 37 on both sides. Here we go, everybody. 37. Divide by 37. Okay, so let's figure out what that is. Over here, let's see, 37 times 6, I believe, will help us out, maybe. Let's see. 6 times 7, 42. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 4 is 22. There it is. X equals 6. All right, we found our first variable. I know, that took a lot of work, but that's what happens when you have 3 equations that have 3 variables on each one. Well, this is our golden ticket now, because since we know that x equals 6, we can now plug that back into one of our 2 variable equations. So watch this. I'm going to bring this all the way up here. I know we got a lot going on here, and I'm going to point to this. This is where I want to plug in now. So we have 5x minus y equals 27. 5x minus y equals 27. Let's write that down. 5x minus y equals 27. Okay, so now let's actually plug it in. Ooh, why don't we go with, like an orange, sort of. All right, here we go. 5 times 6 minus y equals 27. 30 minus y equals 27. We subtract 30 on both sides. Cancels out. We have negative y equals negative 3. So now I'm going to divide by negative 1 on both sides, because negative y actually means negative 1y. And you will get y equals 3. Okay, so look at this. We have y and x now. So if I have y and x, I can find z. So I go all the way back to our original 3. And I am going to choose this one since it is pretty simple. Okay, x minus y plus z equals 1. X minus y plus z equals 1. Here we go. X minus y plus z equals 1. Well, I know what x and y are, so let's plug them in. X is 6 minus y, which is 3, plus z equals 1. Well, what is 6 minus 3? That is 3, plus z equals 1. Subtract 3 on both sides, and we have z equals -2. Bam, and look at that. We now have all 3 of them. We now have all 3 of them. That is 3 variables, 3 equations, and the 3 variables are each inside 3 equations. Okay, one more thing we need to do. We need to check the other 2 equations really fast. Here we go. So, remember back to our original. We've got 2x plus 3y plus 5z equals 11. Okay? 2x plus 3y plus 5z equals 11. All right, let's plug in. We've got 2 times 6 plus 3 times 3 plus 5 times -2 equals 11. 2 times 6, that is 12. 3 times 3, 9. 5 times -2, -10 equals 11. What is 12 plus 9? That is 21 minus 10 equals 11. 21 minus 10 is 11. 11 equals 11. Boom. Checks off. Awesome. All right. And now one more. So, our last equation to check from the original. 3x minus 4y minus 5z equals 16. 3x minus 4y minus 5z equals 16. 3x minus 4y minus 5z equals 16. Okay, so is everybody ready? Let's plug in. Here we go. 3 times 6 minus 4 times 3 minus 5 times -2 equals 16. 3 times 6, that's 18. 4 times 3, that is 12. -5 times -2, that is +10 equals 16. 18 minus 12, that is 6, plus 10 equals 16. 6 plus 10 is 16. There it is, equals 16. Check mark. Check, check, and check. Everyone, we did it! Yes! 3 equations, 3 variables in each one. That is system of equations with all of that going on. Thank you all so much for watching this lesson today. This has been Math with RG. I'm Ryan, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.